210 System boot. The procedure of starting a computer by loading the kernel is known as booting the system. On most computer systems, a small piece of code known as the bootstrap program or bootstrap loader locates the kernel, loads it into main memory, and starts its execution. Some computer systems, such as PCs, use a two-step process in which a simple bootstrap loader fetches a more complex boot program from disk, which in turn loads the kernel. When the CPU receives a reset event for its instance when it is powered up or rebooted, the instruction register is loaded with a predefined memory location, and the execution starts there. At that location is the initial bootstrap program. This program is in the form of read-only memory because the RAM is in an unknown state at system startup. ROM is convenient because it reads no initialization and cannot easily be affected by a computer virus. The bootstrap program can perform a variety of tasks. Usually, one task is to run diagnostics to determine the state of the machine. If the diagnostics pass, the program can continue with the booting steps. It can also initialize all aspects of the system, from CPU registers to device controllers and the contents of main memory. Sooner or later, it starts the operating system. Some systems, such as cellular phones, tablets, and game consoles, store the entire operating system in ROM. Storing the operating system in ROM is suitable for small operating systems, simple supporting hardware, and rugged operation. A problem with this approach is that changing the bootstrap code requires changing the ROM hardware chips. Some systems resolve this problem by using a reversible programmable read-only memory, which is read-only except when explicitly given a command to become writable. All forms of ROM are known as firmware. A problem with firmware is generally in that executing code there is slower than executing code in RAM. Some systems store the operating system in firmware and copy it to RAM for fast execution. A final issue with firmware is that it is relatively expensive, so usually only small amounts are available. For large operating systems, including most general-purpose operating systems like Windows, Mac OS, and Unix, or for systems that change frequently, the bootstrap loader is stored in firmware and the operating system is on disk. In this case, the bootstrap runs diagnostics and has a bit of code that can read a single block at a fixed location from disk into memory and execute the code from that boot block. The program stored in the boot block may be sophisticated enough to load the entire operating system into memory and begins its execution. More typically, it is simple code and knows only the address on disk and less of the remainder of the bootstrap program.